Well, if you remember those years and, having kids, you know that it's a year where there's a lot, it's a time when they're going through puberty and there's a lot of hormonal fluctuations as it is. And hormones by themselves have an impact on your mind, mood, and development. And now you're being put all this content that is focused on body and how your face looks like and how it should look like. And teens, at least in preteens in that age, they don't even have the emotional maturity or discernment to be able to really process that this is not reality, or to be able to not want to go there and compare themselves to these images and what they should look like. They don't understand. And so these apps are more focused on how many likes you may get, which we know by themselves creates a dopamine release that has an impact on the brain and creates an addictive tendency. And then these apps like Instagram and Facebook that are more like a photo sharing app also have such a high emphasis on body and face imaging versus TikTok, which is more of a dancing and having fun app, or Snapchat, where you can add features that can be a little bit more goofy and playful. And so these two particular apps really lend themselves to making people want to compare themselves to other people, not just how they look, whether from a face or a body perspective, but also from a lifestyle perspective. What do they have or not have that they should have at that age?
So what do you recommend for parents? Because we can't draw from our own experience. How healthy or unhealthy is it for our kids to constantly be seeing images of themselves too?
Well, we know that after just 30 minutes of utilization of one of these apps, the increase in body dissatisfaction increases. And we also know from data from the UK that teenagers have been found up to 12% to tie their suicidal ideations to utilization of Instagram. In the United States, it's only at 6%. And we're not the only country that's making changes to this, because we recognize that these are our future leaders. Recently, China actually minimized how much one can actually use the app when they're 14 years of age or younger to just 40 minutes.
So are you recommending, as someone in the medical community, just not letting your kids be on those kind of photo sharing apps until perhaps there's some kind of conversation, or they have the tools?
Or they have the emotional maturity, which comes at sometimes such a later age. Like even I sometimes, we were just talking before we went on, that it's such a natural thing as a human being to second guess yourself or wonder or wish you were there, right? If that affects us today, I can't even imagine at the age of 10 or 12. I think that just like with any diet, this is our visual diet. And so, parents have to, as we have these conversations perhaps on what you should be eating at school, don't pick that fried food, the reasons why it's bad for you. Same with your visual diet. Recognize that what you're internally visualizing every single day has an impact, and maybe it doesn't necessarily equate to reality. Some of these apps that compare, what's real and what's filtered.
And all the filters.
There is a study to support that patients did, or people did feel better after they saw some of those images, because they realized that it's not them, and it made the image a little bit more relatable. So having those open, frank conversations.
And real quickly, because we're out of time, but any positive impacts from these in your view?
It makes people feel connected to a certain degree. People that have friends that have moved for college to a different state, or perhaps family that is in a different country. It is a way to keep us connected, and just like with anything you eat, even your visual diet, if it's positive, if there's a lot of positive body positivity, things that you're watching or looking at, yoga, meditation, positive quotes, that's going to have a positive impact on your overall well-being. So it's all about what we're taking in.
All right, so keep an eye on the kids. Don't just let them shuffle through those apps without having those conversations. Dr. Fabi, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Kathleen.